Hello and welcome to this gentle yoga for skiers. I have uploaded an entire series of yoga for skiers to Mountain Training Center's website. You can check out the link below if you want more slow flow, more mobility for skiers. There's also strength for skiers, yin yoga for skiers, and some bonus core classes and vinyasa classes to choose from. So if you like this one, go ahead into Mountain Training Center's website and check out some more. For now, we'll start in tabletop position. Come onto your hands and your knees. And then we'll start to find some cat-cows warming up through the spine. So inhale, cow pose, drop your belly, lift your heart, lift your chin. Exhale, cat, round through your spine, tuck your tailbone, press your shoulder blades up and back. A few times with the breath, inhale, cow, drop the belly, lift the heart. And exhale, cat. One more, inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Inhale to a neutral position. Press down into your left hand. Maybe bring it to center, and then inhale, reach your right hand high up towards the sky. Bring your right hand to the back of your head, lift your right elbow. We're trying to open up and get some twists in the back here to kind of get into the lower back and the hips. As you exhale, we'll tap your right elbow down towards that left wrist. Couple more, inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. Inhale, lift your right elbow. Reach your right hand up towards the sky, and then exhale, thread the needle. Swoop your right arm underneath, plant your left hand on the ground, and then press your left hand to lift your left shoulder, getting a little bit deeper into that twist. So really opening up through the back. Plant your left hand down. Inhale, reach your right hand high up towards the sky. We're going to find a little back bend to get into the hip flexors. So bring your hips to your heels. Drop your right hand back behind you. Reach your left hand up towards the sky. And then if it feels okay in your back, we'll press your hips up. Reach your left fingertips away from your left knee to really open up through your left hip flexors, your left psoas. Squeeze your glutes to press your hips farther up. Gently drop your heels down, or drop your hips to your heels. We'll cartwheel your left hand underneath your left shoulder and reach your right hand forward. Ground down into your right knee, kick your left foot back behind you, finding that opposition, that strength. Inhale, reach through your toes and your fingers. Exhale, elbow to knee, bring it in. Two more, inhale, reach. Exhale, tap. One more, inhale, reach. And exhale, tap. Inhale, reach. Keep your left leg lifted. Drop your right hand underneath your right shoulder. Bend your left knee and then big circle out to the left. Bring your left knee towards your left shoulder. And then down and around. We'll do that one more time. Bring it all the way up and back. Over, down, and around. Now let's switch directions. Bring that left knee out wide, up and back, through center. Again, bring it out wide, up and back. And then cross your left knee behind your right knee. Bring your feet a little bit wider. Press your hips back towards your heels for this cross-legged child's pose. If it doesn't feel good to have the legs crossed, you can always find a regular child's pose. Breathe into the hips. Come back up onto your hands and your knees. Uncross your left knee from behind your right. And bring your left foot outside of your left hand. Tuck your right toes and lift your right knee. Press your right leg back so you're lengthening through the front of that right leg. Press your right hand down into the mat. Reach your left hand forward. And then all the way up, easy twist. Gently drop your right knee and reach your left hand back, open through the heart space. And then as you exhale, you'll lift your hips up, reach your left hand forward, and then all the way through towards your right knee. So your left hand will swoop in between your left leg and your right arm, reaching for your right knee, and you can keep a deeper bend in that left knee if that's too much for the hamstring. We'll do that a few times, breath to movement. Inhale, open up, drop the right knee, lift. Exhale, swoop it through. One more, inhale, open. And exhale, close. Inhale, open, we hold. Drop your right knee all the way down. Reach your left hand back. And it might feel good to stay here. Hopefully that feels nice through the left hip. If you feel ready and warm and open for it, you might bend your right knee and see if you can grab your right foot to stretch through your right quad. Gently release your right foot. Bring both hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. We're finding forward fold, so bring your left foot in a little bit, and then bring your right foot to meet your left at the front of the mat. Bend your knees deeply, shake out the head. Bend your knees even more, and then one vertebrae at a time, we roll all the way up to stand. Shrug out your shoulders. Upward salute, reach your hands high up towards the sky. Interlace your fingers, but keep your pointer fingers out. Press into your feet, lift through your fingers, and then exhale, find that side bend. Open up through your left side body. Press your hips to the left as you reach to the right. Inhale, bring it up through center. Exhale, stretch to the left, press your hips to the right, open up through your right side body. Maybe you look up underneath your right armpit. Inhale, bring it up through center. Exhale, forward fold, dive over your hips. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, plant your hands and walk your feet back to your high plank position. Drop your knees down to the earth and then lower yourself all the way down. Bring your hands out wide, so fingertips underneath your hands, reach your elbows up towards the sky. Press the tops of your feet down into the mat. And then inhale, lift your heart space up. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. One more, inhale, open, cobra. Exhale, let it go. Now we're going to come into a lower back release, so plant your hands back underneath your shoulders. You're going to try to keep your shoulders kind of square and only twist through your hips here. So bend your left knee and then start to roll onto your right hip, opening up through the lower back, and then keep that left shoulder kind of squeezing down towards the mat. And bring it through center. Switching out sides, bend your right knee, roll onto your left hip, tap your right toes behind. And bring it back through center. Let's do one more each side. Bend your left knee, roll onto the right hip. And bring it back. Bend your right knee, roll onto your left hip. And bring it back. Press yourself all the way back to child's pose. Hips to heels, reach your hands forward. We're going to come into toe pose, so come back into your tabletop position. Tuck your toes underneath your feet, bring your knees to about hip width distance apart, and then sink your hips back to your heels. And you can walk your hands onto your thighs here. Just be careful with the feet. This pose can sneak up. I like to kind of spread my toes and then sit back onto them. Know that you can always walk your hands back forward if it gets to be too much. Just feeling the opening through your toes. See if you can tune into breath here, breathing a little bit longer, a little bit deeper. And release. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. You might tap out the toes. And then we'll switch outside. So bring your right hand to center. Reach your left hand up towards the sky. Bring your left hand to the back of your head. Lift through your left elbow. Exhale, tap your left elbow towards your right wrist. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. One more. Inhale, lift, reach your left hand up towards the sky. Thread the needle, swoop your left arm underneath, drop your left shoulder down. Getting into the back, we're gonna find this twist by pressing into the right hand, lift the right shoulder. Into that twist. Press down into your right hand, inhale, reach your left hand high. Finding that hip flexor opener or heart space opener, press your hips to your heels. Drop your left hand behind you, reach your right hand up towards the sky, and then press your hips up towards the sky if that feels good. Really reach your right fingertips away from your right knee. Drop your hips to your heels. Cartwheel your right hand underneath your right shoulder, and then reach your left hand forward, so dropping your left shoulder in line with the right. Press down into your left knee and kick your right foot back. Reach through your fingers and your toes. Take a big inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee, bring it in. 2 more, inhale, reach. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tap. Inhale, reach, extend. Keep your right foot lifted, plant your left hand, bend your right knee. We're gonna take that right knee over towards the right shoulder, all the way down and around. One more time, bring it up and back. Towards the right shoulder, down and around. Going the other direction, bring it up, all the way back. One more, bring it through, up. This time, eventually, you'll cross your right knee behind your left knee, bring your feet wide. Press your hips back towards your heels for that gentle hip stretch there. Walk your hands a little farther forward, open up through your back. Bring your shoulders back up on top of your wrists. Ground down into your left knee. Swing this right knee all the way up and around until your right foot plants outside your right hand. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee. Really lengthen through the front of that left leg. Press your left hand down into the earth. Reach your right hand forward. And then all the way up to the sky. Easy twist. Start to bend your left knee, open through the heart space. Reach your right hand back towards that left foot. Letting the hips sink down. Then we're gonna lift your right hand up, reach it all the way through in between your left arm and your right leg towards your left knee. Keeping that right knee bent if that's too much in the hamstring. Doing that a couple times, breath to movement. Inhale, drop your left knee, reach your right hand up and back. Exhale, swoop it through. One more, inhale, open. And exhale, close. Inhale, open, drop your left knee down. Option to stay here, bend the left knee, see if you can grab the left foot with your right hand, opening up through that left quad. Gently release your right hand, plant it inside your right foot. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee. We're finding Malasana frog squat. So bring your left foot wide. Sink your hips low, knees out, hands to heart. Lengthen through your spine. You can sit on a block or a cushion if that feels better. And then nice and slow, we're gonna lower onto our back. So sink the hips down, bring your feet in front of you and lower all the way down to the earth. Setting up for bridge pose, plant your feet hip-width distance underneath your knees. Press into your feet to lift your hips up towards the sky. Opening up through your hip flexors and your psoas, squeeze your glutes. Press your tailbone towards your calves. Exhale, lower the hips down. Beautiful. Now, keep your hips down, reach for the outside of your right foot. Grab the outside of the right foot for half happy baby. Your right elbow should kind of be inside the right knee. And then start to rock and roll into that right hip. Give yourself a little hip and lower back massage. Eventually, guide your right ankle to cross on top of your left knee. Let your right knee drop down to the earth. Press into your left foot to lift your hips up towards the sky. So you're in this figure 4 position, figure 4 bridge. Let gravity kind of press your right knee down, opening up through that right hip. Exhale, lower your hips down. 2 more, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 1 more, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Swing that right knee through center and then let your knees drop over to the left as you bring your arms to a cactus or a T for that supine twist. And if it doesn't feel good to have the legs crossed, you can always unravel them here. Gentle release, bring your legs through center. Plant your right foot down, and then we'll switch out sides. Find half happy baby on that left leg. Reach for the outside of the left foot with the left hand. Start to rock and roll into this left hip, giving yourself a little hip and lower back massage. Eventually guide your left ankle to cross on top of your right knee for figure 4. But then we're going to find those bridge positions. So press into your right foot, lift your hips up to the sky. Let gravity drop that left knee down to the earth to open through your left hip. And then exhale, lower your hips down. Do that a couple more times. Inhale, lift to the hips. And exhale, lower. Last one, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Let that left knee come through center to drop the knees over to the right for a supine twist, other side. Bring your knees up through center. Plant the left foot. Find one more bridge pose. Press your feet down into the mat to lift your hips up towards the sky. And release, lower the hips down. Option to find full happy baby, reaching for both feet with the hands. If your lower back lifts up off the ground here, grab your knees instead for supine child's. Happy baby, you might hang out in stillness, or you again might rock and roll right and left. And release, bring both knees into your chest, give yourself a big squeeze. And find Savasana pose. Open up through the legs and the arms. I know it's tempting to skip this sometimes. But let yourself have that full release, full relaxation, full recovery. Ending with one big deep breath. Take a big inhale through your nose, fill. And open mouth, exhale, let it go. Letting everything relax. Releasing tension out from your forehead. Drop your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Let your shoulders and hips be anchors to the earth, and let everything else just melt down to the ground. If you have the gift of time today, I always encourage you to hang out here a little bit longer. When you do decide to move out of this, do so slowly and gently and intentionally. Again, if you want more yoga for skiers, check out the link in the description. Thank you so much for practicing with me.